Visit abaeservices.com for fast medical transcription service. This podcast episode is brought to you by AB Music Creative.
We need to all do something to help people in terms of their mental health, and I feel like we can do something about it. So if we can help even like one child in school when we go in and do our workshops and we speak about it, we want to inspire young people to speak about how they feel.
Social media has a massive part to play when it comes to mental health, like body image. Everyone's comparing themselves to one another, and that's causing depression, anxiety, and people losing like social skills as well. They're always on their phones and not having conversations with people face to face, and then they get social anxiety.
Welcome to the Paco's Place podcast. Rejuvenate your smile with Dr. Lourdes Capelong's comprehensive range of dental solutions. Along with general dentistry, Dr. Capelong specializes in cosmetic dentistry, including teeth whitening, bonding, dental veneers, and surgical crowns. Whether it's urgent care or preventive treatment, she'll take care of you and your smile. To schedule an appointment, call the clinic at area code 323-257-7582. Now send money to the Philippines with no fees. Transfer money to GCash, Cash Pickup, and banks in the Philippines. SendWave is a fee-free app to help overseas foreign workers and Filipinos living abroad send more of their hard-earned money back home. SendWave is available in the USA, Canada, and parts of Europe to send money to the Philippines with zero remittance fees and rapid transfers. Enjoy free credit by entering promo code Paco to get a free $20 credit on your first transfer. To sign up, please click the link on the description below or anywhere you see on the screen. So what are you waiting for? Download the SendWave app right now. Here we go. And the podcast will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, live at Paco's Place, big round of applause. We have Kieran, Goodwin, and Jaylan Sesli.
Hello.
Did I get it right?
Yes.
You
Put
did.
you had the mic.
Yeah,
There you go.
okay.
Now, you guys are not local to Los Angeles.
No, so we're from London. So we're here currently doing a bit of work, also a bit of holiday. Just, we've been working really hard this year, so we've decided to come to LA, catch up with some friends, and also do a bit of work on the side. So, but yeah, we're from London.
Yeah, we've been to LA before.
Yeah.
We like the vibe, we like the beach.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But what brings you to LA?
So we have a couple of important meetings with some apps, some like mindfulness apps. So we're trying to get a partnership going with them.
Like what apps?
So Headspace, we have an important meeting with them tomorrow. So yeah, we're just trying to grow our operations, maybe do some work here eventually in the US. But yeah, we're predominantly working in London at the minute, but we'd love to do some work maybe in LA eventually in some
Jaylan,
schools.
Same thing?
Yeah, no, definitely. We feel like, so we work in mental health, and we feel like, especially in the US in particular, it's really important that our work that we do back at home could be potentially carried over here.
What made you guys advocate mental health awareness?
So I think it's very similar for both of us.
Yeah, we have a similar story.
Yeah,
I want to hear both your stories.
Yeah. So me and Kieran met in high school. And like me personally, I really struggled in school in terms of my anxiety. I just felt like everything was a bit much for me in school, and I just didn't really know who to talk to, like how to reach out for help, and it was a lot for me in school.
This was high school?
This was high school, yeah. And I just felt that there was days where I was just really, really low, and I just didn't know what to do about it or like who to go to for help. And I thought it was ridiculous because we're in school, we're supposed to be learning about ourselves, and anytime I went to speak to a teacher about it, I just felt like I was disregarded, shut down.
Right?
Like mental health now, but especially like back then, was a very big taboo. Like we didn't want to talk about it. We didn't want to acknowledge that it was a problem, especially for young people. So that was a big struggle for me. Which is why I want to work in terms of the education system for mental health, to improve it, to educate it, and fight the stigma against mental health topics, and get everyone to talk about and normalize it, because it is normal.
How about you? Same thing?
Very similar. I mean, I struggled with my sexuality when I was in school, so I had big problems, coming out and talking about that. So then that made me very depressed. I got really bad anxiety in school. I still have really bad anxiety, to be honest. But the same situation as Jaylan, I tried to reach out for support and help, and it wasn't really there. They just kind of said, "Oh, go to this person, talk to them," and the person wasn't really giving me very good advice, so it wasn't very good. So that's why we started this charity now.
But okay, so
to help,
I'm gonna tie it in, and the reason why I'll tie it in is because you said that in school you're supposed to be able to mingle with people, you're supposed to be able to discover yourself and talk about yourself. You, different story, more of like the challenge was, how do I come out? It's very, how will you be received coming out and all. But how did you guys meet at your crossroad, both of you?
Who
wants to share? I hope it matches, guys.
No, so we met in college. So
high school, you knew each other.
So
I mean, the education system is a little bit different to what it is
it's like
here.
high school here, and college back in London.
So when we was like 17, 16, we met.
Yeah.
So you're saying
16,
that we're
17.
slow, you guys are...
It's like
Be careful with your words.
No.
Okay, go.
But we met then. I mean, I was running a charity back then. We was doing the same subject.
Yeah.
We was on the same subject. We was doing like a health and social care course.
And
then we done. It was like student.
We both signed up for the student executive boards.
It's
at
like
our
prefects.
school.
Do you have prefects here?
Okay, you did not know what was going on in her life.
No, we
and
didn't
you
know.
did not know what was going on in his life.
No.
See, this is what I want to talk about, because sometimes you think the people you're around with are the people who will understand you, and then you meet someone unbeknownst to you is the person you're gonna click with. So that's what I want to get to. Who met who and who approached who?
I don't know who did approach who. I think we just got on from the get-go.
I think I approached you because I saw that you signed up to do the council, like the school council. This is what it was. And like I signed up to do it as well because we both wanted to like represent the school on mental health. Like we both kind of had that drive to do that.
What was your impression on him?
What was your impression?
Like, see, victim.
Yeah.
I thought Kieran was quite quiet.
Yeah.
I thought he was quite timid, but then when I got to know you, he was very loud.
Oh, okay.
And he was very much on my level. Yeah, he was very loud and he was very funny. And I was like, yeah, we're gonna get on. Like,
how about you? When Jaylan approached you,
right, she wasn't quiet. That's for sure. Probably the complete opposite. But
were you out at this time? Not yet.
I don't think I was.
No, you wasn't.
I wasn't. No.
Oh, so you found him cute, yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Not here.
My gaydar picked up very quickly.
Oh, your
Did
gaydar.
you just?
Okay.
Yeah, you just assumed.
I assumed, yeah.
Okay. So you weren't out. Your gaydar picked up. So pretty much, did you feel safe in her presence?
I think that's what it was. Yeah. I just felt confident around you. You just kind of made me feel a bit more better within myself.
Right.
And then that's when the click just was like, oh, okay.
Isn't that a blessing wherein you meet someone and that person brings out who you really are or makes you comfortable about who you really are, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So now both of you are in this org doing what you guys wanted to set out to do. How did it become something where it's, hey, you know what? Why don't we go out and do this?
Well, yeah, go on.
I mean, I was already doing something when I met you. I was doing a bit of charity work. I was a swimmer back in the day. I'd done some fundraising.
Dude, don't say back in the day.
You're
too young.
We were born in the 90s.
You guys are
90s. It's almost the 30s.
You guys are young enough to be my children.
We're 25 now.
I'm 52.
25.
Really?
We're like, I'm too old for Leonardo DiCaprio now.
He
doesn't date
women
younger than 25, so I'm gone.
Sorry,
Leo.
Okay,
Shame.
go. So you were doing a bit of charity work.
We was doing a bit of charity work
back in the day,
and then Jaylan came along to help and support as well, and then we just got kind of talking, and then basically the charity work just stopped. I started nursing. This is a bit of a long story.
Nursing?
Yeah.
Are you Filipino?
no, but having really nice like Filipino colleagues actually who I work with. But yeah, I'm a nurse as well, and then I just kind of went off the radar of charity work, and then only last year we started doing it again. The charity, we relaunched the charity as Mind of the Student, and then you became like partner, and then kind of like running it now together to help and support, because it's quite a lot of work for just one person.
Why do I get the impression she's your constant? You go up and down, and she's like, I'm just gonna hang out in there.
Yeah.
If he's ready.
I kind of have just been hanging out.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, because I was like working with Kieran when it was like under a different name of the charity. I was like one of the mental health facilitators, so I was running the workshops.
Right.
So we run mental health workshops in secondary schools. So it's like from
high school
here, from like 12 to 16, and we teach them on topics such as depression, anxiety, confidentiality, social media pressures, and we teach them like how to spot the signs and symptoms of these different disorders in themselves, in other people, and how to actually help themselves. Like, what are the things that you can do to help yourself when you're struggling, like different techniques that you can use and how you can use them techniques on a day-to-day basis. So
okay, so let's role play. Not really role play, but I'm old enough to be you guys' dad.
Yeah.
Right? People my age, some of people my age are in denial that their children, especially their young adult children, can go through something like what you just mentioned, Jaylan.
Yeah.
And they might be, you gotta suck it up, you gotta go on through life. But that's not how it's supposed to be. Or is it that, I mean, what are the signs that someone is struggling?
There are many signs. I mean, if you see your child isolating themselves, not talking, not coming down for dinner, like sitting with the family, kind of just cutting themselves off from like their family and stuff, it's like that's one of the signs. And the best thing to do as a parent is just to listen to your child. Don't interrupt them. Just let them free talk.
Yeah, I think if your child stops doing activities that they usually do and they usually love doing and they don't want to do it anymore, like I don't want to play football anymore.
Yeah.
I don't really want to see my friends anymore. But they start withdrawing themselves from society. That is when you could start to kind of pick up the signs that there might be an issue there, or there might be something else going on.
But what do you do? Do you walk on eggshells, or do you confront it?
I think just to say how you feel, are you okay? Just a simple sentence.
Are they going to tell the truth?
Yeah, then that is difficult. I think you just got to keep on kind of...
I think it's the culture around it. It's the culture around mental health. It's about creating that safe space in the family home. And do they feel comfortable talking point blank? Like about anything?
And giving that space just to talk as well, and say, like, if you're ever struggling, you can talk to me. Give that openness about the conversation.
And it's not just about how you say it, it's about what you create in that environment.
Could it be mental health or the spread of mental illness? Could it be because of like what you said, Jaylan, culture, but culture inside the home, the way this batch of parents have been raising kids?
Of course, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
right?
so it can be hereditary.
But it's like nature and nurture, isn't it?
Yeah.
You
Yes.
can nurture the environment, and then it can be the actual home they're living in that could be causing the problem as well. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Like in your case, how was it like growing up?
It was okay. I mean, my parents did give me the opportunity to come out to them, because that was a big thing that I was struggling with. They always said, if you're gay, if you're whatever, it's okay, just let us know. But it still was difficult. Even if they gave me that opportunity to say I was gay, it was still difficult. But that's when my friends really supported me, and they helped me get to that point to say, I am. So it did really help. I mean, they knew all along. I didn't really have to say anything.
I was like, Kieran, get out of the closet already. We're tired.
But it was still difficult. Even if your parents do give you that opportunity to say that you are, it's still hard.
It's hard because of the society, right? Like, and especially like it's what we want to do, and what we've been trying to campaign for is like we want to create that culture needs to be created in schools too, right? Because the child's spending most of their time there. If the culture in the schools and at home is negatively like impacting you, or is preventing you from feeling comfortable enough to speak about that, like you should feel comfortable enough to speak about your sexuality, if that's preventing you, that's gonna be...
How about you? you're not exempted from anything. What was your childhood like?
I think it was difficult for me because like
How many siblings do you have?
None.
How many siblings do you have?
None.
Damn. Did you guys both know you guys were the only kids?
Yeah, we
knew
did.
that,
We bonded over that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was a thing that we bonded about, wasn't it?
Yes, I come from like abusive household. It was quite difficult in that sense.
Parents were abusing each other, or parents were abusing you?
Like abusing each other.
Oh, sheesh.
Yeah.
I'm
and
sorry.
it's like, yeah, it's difficult. And so I think for that, and you're an only child, it's like not very nice place to be around. So I think that was difficult for me. And then I didn't feel like I could talk to anyone about it, or anyone that kind of like understood what I was going through. And then like teachers weren't very helpful.
What was it like growing up? Like when you were 14, 15, you were pretty much all alone.
Yeah, it felt lonely. It did. It's like
No aunties, no uncles to talk to be a sounding board.
not really, no. Yeah.
How about friends?
I just felt like they didn't really understand.
Don't you feel like you guys are in therapy right now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
How much do you charge?
Free.
Oh. It's great.
Okay. So I mean we're making it sound light. But the things that we're talking about, I hope our audience, listeners and viewers pick up on the fact that we really need a support system. Like what you said, right? You got nudged by your friends. How about you? Who were your friends before Kieran?
I mean, my friends, I just felt like they didn't really understand because they wasn't in the same sort of situation as me. And I just felt like I couldn't really talk to them about it, or like I just felt like they didn't, like I spoke to them about it, but they didn't really understand fully what I was going through, and they could do certain things that I couldn't, and it was just kind of, yeah, it was difficult.
But
I just feel like I didn't meet someone that
I think
kind of
at that
got
age
me.
you don't know what it is you're feeling as well.
Yeah.
You don't know it's depression. You don't know it's anxiety. So you don't really have to talk about it
Yeah,
as well
it's-
at that age when you're that young. Like, I think it's difficult.
could be.
Sometimes.
Now, are you more introvert than extrovert?
Definitely. Yeah. I'm more introvert.
You're more extrovert than
Yeah.
introvert. See, this is the reason why I'm just observing is because as an extrovert, you should be able to tell your girlfriends, girl, I'm going through shit.
Yeah.
But based on your story, you found yourself kind of holding back. Is
Yeah.
it because they weren't worthy of this disclosure? Looking back in hindsight,
I didn't feel that. I just felt like the culture in school didn't allow me to talk about how I was feeling properly. I didn't feel accepted to talk about certain topics. I didn't feel like anyone really understood because the education wasn't there. So like their parents, the teachers weren't really that educated on it, and no one really knew how to handle the topics. It was kind of, everyone was like tiptoeing around the topics.
so what made you become more aggressive in later on, no pun intended, coming out about it?
I just feel like we need to all do something to help people in terms of their mental health. Like we all kind of have a role to play, and especially like our generation, we've experienced it firsthand. I feel like we can do something about it. So if we can help even like one child in school when we go in and do our workshops and we speak about it, we can try and create more of a culture to speak about in schools, because the government are not really doing enough, or they're not ever really going to do anything. So if we can push for that change in schools and push for the conversation to keep going, then that's like really all that we want. Or we want to inspire young people to speak about how they feel and not feel like they have to shy away from it. I mean, we was looking at the stats early in like the USA, and suicide is the second leading cause of death amongst young people, 15 to 24.
15 to 24.
Yeah.
So like nearly 20% of high school students have like reported serious thoughts of suicide.
It's a similar stat to the UK. I think it's the second leading cause as well, or third in the UK.
Yeah.
For teenage suicide. So it's really, really sad. It just shows there's not enough support in schools still. And
Especially like male suicide is higher than women as well.
Well, growing up during my time, my struggle was more, am I going to get bullied? Am I going to be left alone? Am I going to be cool that was 12 going 13. Huh? My generation, that was a conflict in our head. And to us, back then, that was already a struggle.
Mm.
And suicide, my batch alone in school, only one person committed suicide in school. And the reason why he committed suicide was because he was left by a girl. But now it's different. It's like what you guys said, depression. You guys trying to tie up with the apps that actually focus on, mental health and all. That's a good thing. But what's going on nowadays? Is it because of the internet? Is it because of more social awareness?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Social media has a massive part to play when it comes to
role.
mental health, like body image. Everyone's comparing themselves to one another, and that's causing depression, anxiety, and people losing like social skills as well. They're always on their phones and not having conversations with people face to face, and then they get anxiety, social anxiety, and it's a big problem, social media.
Yeah, I mean, even like we was talking about this yesterday. We were like, can we get off our phones and like take in and talk to each other?
This guy just killed his Instagram that had
I did back
over
then,
100,000 followers.
You
I did, because it was
break.
just I needed a break, and it does become overwhelming.
Can't you just put your phone down? I mean, if you needed a break.
Sometimes it's not possible.
Yeah.
It's an actual addiction, I think, using your phone, and it's a problem.
And like especially Kieran said as well about like comparing yourself. There's so much comparison. You're seeing like highlight reels of everyone's day, everything they're doing. It's their best bits of their day. It's their best bits of their week. We're always seeing everyone's good bits online, but are we seeing them having depressive episode? I mean, maybe if you have that friend, but like we don't put like when we're feeling shit.
Like, why are they okay? Why am I not okay? Right? When we look at their My Day or whatever they call them.
We're not seeing the negatives of their life. We're just seeing everything all good,
things.
all positive. And sometimes I think if you're having a bad day, it's like it's not
And then
always the best thing you want to see. Like
when you're having the bad day, you go on your phone, you just scroll, and you just end up feeling worse.
yeah,
It's true. Story. Last night I was at a friend's house, and it was like 12 midnight. I wanted to go home, and he said, "Man, I'm having anxiety issues." And he's 53.
yeah.
And so I stayed, and we chatted, and I asked him, what are you being anxious of? And he said, my mortality, because friends are dying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's legit.
Yeah. As we get older, I think that's a big thing. I'm a nurse as well, so I experience conversations like that with some of my patients when they're end of life or something, like they've got an end of life diagnosis. They're very worried about getting to the end and stuff like that, and it's difficult. Anxiety changes as we get older. We worry about different things. We worry about paying bills. We worry about feeding our children. We worry about our health, and that changes. But as a teenager, we worry about different things. We worry about popularity and all that. So it does change as you get older.
And we've got all the apps now to edit your photos, so you
I
can
know,
like
right?
everything and the filters and like. But I
So
mean,
much pressure.
we're guilty of using it ourselves.
My wife would say, "Why are you filtering your pictures?"
No, but I think the thing is that it's just come so normal to like edit photos and have this like different image of yourself online, and a lot of like especially young people, they feel like they can't post anything or they can't do anything without doing that, and then that kind of creates a vicious cycle of them not really wanting to engage in real life.
How can parents guide their kids? I know most of the time you're speaking to the kids themselves, right?
Yeah.
But let's nip it in the bud, because like what we talked about earlier, if the parents are actually creating a positive environment at home where, like what you said, where the parents encourage the kids to talk to them freely, probably at a young age, and not wait till they're teenagers, but at a young age encourage them that, hey, mom and dad are here, no judgment, tell us how you feel. But how can we address the parents in this age of social media where their kids have screen time and all that?
It's really difficult to regulate and control as a parent, because obviously probably your child is addicted maybe to the phone, and it's a bit mean just to take the phone away from them. They'll probably have an argument, and then you want to avoid arguments. It's really difficult. I mean,
you see a lot of like young people with like young kids with
even, like,
iPads,
under 10
iPad
years.
kids.
My daughter.
Yeah, like 6-year-old, 7-year-olds, they have an
No,
iPhone
younger.
now.
My
Even-
little brother, he's like 5, and
There you
he's
go.
got an iPhone.
I mean, I never had a phone until I was about 12, and it was just a Nokia.
12? Wow.
Yeah, like old. Well, did you have one younger?
I had a Nokia.
Did you?
Yeah.
I had an LG Cookie.
Oh.
A what? An LG?
LG Cookie.
Oh.
It's like a flip phone thing.
I
But
know.
yeah, I
BlackBerry?
think
Yeah.
yeah.
BlackBerry as well. Yeah.
But I
Anyway.
think it starts from a very young age in terms of like not giving into like social media and electronics if you don't have to. Like, because I think it's kind of easy, not easy, but it's something easier for parents to kind of give kids their iPad or
Yeah.
let them watch a movie, and then it turns into the games, and it's easy for them to let the kind of child get on with it. But I think that does create negative habits from a very young age, and then they kind of get a bit addicted to the screen. And remember when you was young, you didn't have all that.
No.
You was outside playing,
yeah.
learning social skills.
You
Like,
know that feeling when you said, remember when you were young, there were no technology. It's like, I'm not sure if I was going to be happy with what you said. That was like ooh. Right? It's
well,
like,
what did you have?
nothing.
I remember I had like the big 3D TV screens that went
What?
like back. You know, the big fat ones.
Imagine you guys are what? Born
1998.
How about you?
So,
Sheesh. Like I was an adult in 90. I was
he was paying bills.
paying bills. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I think
But
just
you know,
the culture of like,
I think encouraging your kids as well to go outside, say,
Yeah.
oh, go for a walk, go get some fresh air, go meet your friends, just kind
hobby.
of reinforce that. Just go outside, go
Yeah.
outside. Don't take the phone away because it's going to just end up in an argument probably, but just tell them to go out, go for a walk, meet friends.
and find your passion.
Hobbies, yeah.
Hobbies. I love dancing. I've been dancing from when I was 6 years old, and I think find your passion and something that you enjoy doing. Like you used to like swimming, you meet friends, you
yeah.
socialize. Like, just I think finding your passion outside
Yes, no.
of the
instead of immersing in social media
Yeah.
where you're looking at what other people are doing.
Yeah.
Are doing.
yeah.
So now, let's say you have a friend, hypotheticals, right? You have a friend who goes to you and says, damn, I'm not having a good day. What do you normally say? Oh, get over it. You don't say that, no? Knowing what
No.
you guys know now.
if Kieran was saying to me, you've had a bad day, I'd encourage him to speak about it. Let's talk. Okay, why was your day bad? You know, let's have a conversation about it, and then maybe we could practice a bit of gratitude.
Mhm.
Do I do that to you regularly?
Yeah,
I
you
tell
do.
you the good bits about like
Talk,
your
let's
bad
let's
day.
let's stay good point, Jaylan. Kieran, let's all talk about that. Talking about gratitude.
I
I
think
have a friend, Ben. He
Is
sends me
that his real name? Or?
his name's Ben.
Okay.
But he
Hi,
sends
Ben.
me like a list of like a daily gratitude list. He sends me like everything that he's grateful for on that day. Every day he sends me that, and that's something anyone can do really. And that's just
So there's
makes you feel better.
there's accountability there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's quite a good coping skill.
yeah, and I
to
think
be
it's a
honest.
good point to mention that when you are going through that, when you're having a bad day, when you're not feeling you're clouded, right? You can't
That
think.
brain fog you,
You get brain fog, and you're just thinking of all the negative things, and it's nice to hear from someone, a friend, or like remember, you know, it's not as bad as you think, because it never is as bad as you think.
No.
There's, you know, people go through all sorts of different things, and there's still always something to be grateful for. So it's never as bad as you think, and you kind of always, it's nice to have that person
Right.
to remind you of that.
And the thing is, if it is as bad as you think, there is support out there.
Yeah,
You
of
know,
course,
there's
yeah.
always help out there, because when we are feeling that low, we do think everything is as bad as it is, and then we do
Catastrophe.
need to get help.
Yeah.
So even if you're feeling like that,
Speaking
there's
of
support.
Speaking of help, look at the screen because we're putting phone numbers right now. So if you need help, call the number on the screen or go click on the description, expand it, and see the details that we've placed on this episode. So that way you can seek help. Seeking help is important, right?
Yeah, of course. It's really, really important. You
How
know.
do you seek help?
So you can seek help by reaching out to different support lines, reaching out to different for your friends. I mean, I'm not sure about like how good the healthcare system is here.
I mean, obviously, we'd always encourage reaching out to like a medical or healthcare professional if it does get to that point.
If you're feeling suicidal, please call 911.
Yeah, that's what we would recommend in the UK. We'd always call like our emergency services if you're feeling suicidal. Get immediate help then.
Yeah, because you never know like how far it's going to go, and I think when
okay, expound on that. You'll never know how far it's gonna go. And the reason why I want you to expound on that is because people can be overly confident and think, I got this under control. But when you're there, it just spirals down, right?
Of course, yeah. So like a lot of people that I've worked with in the past, they self-harm quite a lot. It's a coping mechanism where they can deal with their own things that they're experiencing inside. And I think when they are feeling suicidal and they do experience doing self-harm, they never know how like far that they could take that. So I think it's really important to get help.
And drugs as well, and alcohol, you know, you don't know how far it's going to go when you start doing drugs and stuff. So best to get help before you start taking anything. And it's very complicated, isn't it?
But Kieran, asking for help is the first sign of humility. And sometimes that's the hardest part.
It is, yeah. It takes months, sometimes years to get to that point where you actually ask for help. But that's why friends, it's important to say, are you okay? How are you feeling? Is there anything I can do? Just opening up that conversation and giving them the chance to say, maybe one day, actually, I'm not okay. Just keep on saying that to your friend. Are you okay? Family as well.
Yeah, recognize it in your friends.
Yeah.
Are you seeing that they're acting a little bit differently? Are they withdrawing themselves a little bit more? Are they taking more substances than they would usually start taking? Are you seeing them in the usual places? Are they staying at home for too long period of time? So
even changing like social groups as well, like your friends, if they change as well, that could be a sign too, depending on who you hang around with. That could be a sign, a red flag.
Has that happened to you?
Not me personally, but I have had friends who start hanging around with a little bit questionable people, and then they start getting into bad habits.
Yeah,
like
taking
drugs, alcohol, and that kind of stuff.
And that only amplifies whatever it is you're feeling inside, right?
Yeah, because you're around that kind of environment.
And a lot of the time people are using substances to kind of block and mellow down the thoughts and feelings they're feeling inside themselves. And that could be taken too far as well.
How do you protect yourselves from this? Because you're out there. And let me frame the question properly. When you're talking to kids, you're seeing their garbage. And when you're doing this advocacy, you are subliminally taking in their garbage.
Yeah.
And after a while, unbeknownst to you guys, you're carrying the garbage that you took from them. How do you guys protect yourselves from overloading? How do you unload?
To each other.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we have our own support networks as well. The work we do in schools is very heavy.
It is.
We have a lot of kids who come up to us and say, I'm feeling a certain way and I don't know what to do. And it's very emotionally draining for us and our facilitators, but we signpost our own team as well to services. We talk about it with each other. We debrief after we go to schools.
Exercise as well. Too. That helps me so much. Like it's a big outlet for me is exercising and just having that time to yourself to kind of like let go and let loose, and just finding something in yourself that you know that you enjoy, whether that's painting, listening to music, finding something in yourself is that outlet where you can just shut off, and making sure you do have time to shut off as well. So we struggle with that too, and I think a lot of people when they like are running their own business, they struggle with having a 9 to 5. There's a time when you shut off, right?
Yeah.
So you need to have that time where you say, I'm not going to work anymore and I'm going to focus on myself. Self-care.
Self-love.
Self-love, yeah.
And you know that, I agree. Meditation.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. How important is it? People when they say, and I was one of them, when someone said, you should try meditating. And in my head, that was the thing I had in my head.
Yeah.
Until I tried it one time.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, this actually works.
It's hard though.
Very hard.
It's hard.
I've got ADHD, so I'm like,
Yeah.
But then again, it's good because again, this episode is not paid for by Headspace, but it's quite normal to let your mind run free.
Of course, yeah.
It's encouraged during the initial parts of meditation, as when you're
Yeah,
learning
so
to
we're
meditate.
always, I feel like a lot of the time, even us, we're always thinking about the past.
Right.
We're always thinking about the future, but we're not thinking about now, the here and the now.
Yeah.
And that is why meditation is so powerful, as we get to focus on now. And we definitely do not do that enough. Like, our brains are not programmed to really allow us to think about now, are they? Like, there's so much traffic in there.
It is important just to stop, even for 5 minutes a day, just breathe and just think and evaluate and then carry on. We're
Right.
just always going and going and going and not giving ourselves any time to just breathe and take a
And
break.
digest what's happening and going on. And
Yeah.
yeah.
So you guys have been here in Los Angeles for the past 3 weeks, right?
Roughly,
As of this
Yeah.
taping. So 3 weeks ago, you guys were across the pond. What were you guys thinking of? Let's go to LA. Was it that, or what's your day-to-day like? You guys don't wear the cape all the time, right? There has to be a downtime.
Yeah, we have obviously a downtime. I mean, we go out, you know, in moderation.
And the reason
drink
why
a little bit.
I'm painting it
But
this way, I don't want the viewers and listeners to think that
Yeah, we don't have a perfect life. We're not.
Right?
We
No.
have bad habits too. And
No, I mean, the last year we've both been working like two
Yeah.
full-time jobs.
what do you do?
So I worked the last year and a half in a homeless day centre. So I was helping homeless individuals look for work, help them build skills, things like that. So I've been doing that like the last year.
Why are you doing this?
I just feel like people
It's an honest question.
have not been given like the right support or the right chance. Like, I feel like a lot of people have not been lucky and they've not been given the right tools that they need to succeed in life. And I just feel like I have that kind of personality where I can kind of maybe push someone or like inspire someone to maybe make a change and want to do something with their life or make things better for themselves. So that is why
Nice.
like I started working with the homeless. Yeah.
And you, why'd you decide to become a nurse?
I don't know. I mean, I've always been interested in healthcare and then just helping people as well. It's a good feeling, helping and supporting others. Yeah, that was the reason why.
It's so fascinating.
That was it.
It's so fascinating that both of you have that same drive to help others, So my question is, and you can't point to the other person, who's helping you?
No. No.
No, I guess obviously we do help each other.
Yeah.
See, that was
My mum is a big support for me.
Yeah, okay. Outside,
My mum's
yeah.
a big support.
Same.
Yeah.
My mum too.
I think your
Yeah.
parents are proud of you. I only met you guys today. I'm already proud of both of you.
Oh,
So
thank you.
these people are probably proud of you. Now, let's talk about the future.
Yes.
How long do you guys plan to do this?
Wow.
Forever. Forever and ever.
No, obviously we've got to a point now.
Because the baton needs to be passed at some point,
Eventually, yeah.
so you guys
Yeah.
can live your lives.
That's true. I mean, so far we've visited about, was it 15,000 students?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, so we... thanks, guys.
Yes.
But yeah, about 15,000, and that's just in about 6-7 months. So
Yeah.
obviously we want to carry on doing that, and then we shall see. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know.
we want to expand as well. We want to like do some workshops for parents in the schools that we
Yeah,
go
we were
to.
talking about
Thank
earlier.
you.
Yeah, we want to start doing like after the work we do in schools, focus on like what parents can do, and like we're talking about changing that culture.
I think the parents need to be the people trained,
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
of course.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something we want
because
to do.
they're the protectors of their kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's a full circle, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
the
a
kids are getting
50%.
some education about mental health and the parents are getting some education about it, and then it's the whole
Oh,
circle.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the plan.
And hopefully we can help change the education system a little bit.
Yeah, that's the plan.
That is
We want to
the
make
goal.
it compulsory. Mental
Yeah.
health education, every school should be compulsory.
In the curriculum.
Mandatory.
Yeah.
So, while we were just talking about the perils of social media, but social media wise, are you going to increase your footprint again on the space?
Yeah, we are. We have been working on our social media. We want to work on some content for social media for sure, because a lot of kids are using it. So we want to get some more like support videos out there. So when kids are scrolling through, they can see a video from us and telling them how to kind of help themselves.
We've got this amazing doctor called Dr. Chucks, and he helps us with all like our content and how like we should deliver it properly. So we're going to be working with him a little bit on TikTok, which is like the app at the moment, isn't it? So we're going to be working on some like user-friendly videos, like talking about them and just getting the conversation hopefully going. Yeah.
See, your point, like what you just said, Jaylan, a conversation. This needs to be a huge, just a prominent conversation piece instead of sidestepping it. I think everybody should just take it head on, right?
Yeah.
And talk about it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And just be more open.
Yeah.
No judgment.
Yeah,
definitely.
Of course.
That's the plan. We're trying to remove stigma. That's a big thing. There's so much stigma surrounding mental health, and we want to just completely get rid of it. But that will take many years. Big thing.
Okay, let's bring it home. You first.
Yeah.
Knowing what you know now, talk to little Jaylan. What would you advise her?
I'd advise her to stop stressing. Things are not always as bad as you feel like they are at the time. Again, focusing on the present, not worrying too much about what's going to happen, and just be a kid. Just don't worry so much all the time. Just have fun and like stop stressing, because it's fine. It's going to work out. Yeah.
Kieran?
Oh God.
Honest, as transparent as what she said.
I guess on the similar lines that everything will be okay in the end, and just don't take life too seriously as well. I think I took it far too seriously when I was a teenager, and I wasn't really living like a teenager. I was like, I don't know, I wasn't really experiencing, I just really always stressed, always anxious about something. And if I could just say to younger Kieran, I'd just say stop stressing, just chill. It's all good. It'll be fine in the end.
Anxiety can take over sometimes. It can be
It's difficult, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, that's what I'd say.
Yeah.
So is it safe to say, chill, guys?
Yeah, kind of.
Just chill sometimes.
Sometimes, but if you can't chill, get help as well. You know, like we did as well, and that did eventually help us. And then we was able to live like teenagers a little bit.
And there are techniques that are available, like meditation, breathing exercises, distraction techniques. There are loads of different things that you can do yourself. And I think it's about finding the right thing for you. There's so many different things about there. Find the right fit for you and what works for you. Just because something works for your friend doesn't mean it's going to work for you.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jaylan Sesli and Kieran Goodwin. Don't forget to get the numbers that you see on the description. If you need help, go get some help. Okay, guys? Live your best life ever.